Hello everyone, I want to give you an update of the latest Fed funds rate expectation and recession probability. Wharton School of Business professor Jeremy Siegel recently called for an emergency rate cut, an intermeeting rate cut of 0.75% and a rate cut of another 0.75% at the September FOMC. On his latest interview on Thursday, he reverted his call. He said he no longer certainly think it's necessary. He's referring to the emergency intermeeting rate cut. And he still wants Jay Powell to move the rate down to 4% as soon as possible. So the reason he gave was that he doesn't believe Jay Powell is going to do emergency rate cut without things falling apart. So just like what I said in the last video, it requires a real black swan event to make Jay Powell to do such emergency rate cuts. So even though he reverted his call, he still says Jay Powell has done things way too slow in the past, and he doesn't want Jay Powell to make the same mistake again on the way down. Because apparently when we were in the rate hike cycle, Jay Powell was really slow, right? And it caused 40-year high inflation. So he wants Jay Powell to not be slow this time on the way down. And also last Friday, Wall Street banks, including JP Morgan and Citigroup, were predicting 0.75 rate cut in the next two FOMC meetings. But recently, about yesterday, they also reverted their aggressive calls. They are now predicting 0.5% rate cut in the next meeting instead. Let's talk about Bloomberg economist survey to get a feeling of the consensus. So 51 economists were surveyed by Bloomberg on August 6th to August 8th. And noting that this period is after the shocking non-farm payroll report release date of August 2nd, which is last Friday. So nearly 4/5 of the economists surveyed, they believe in a 0.25% rate cut in September, and followed by 3 more 0.25% rate cut in the next 3 meetings after September. Okay, so a steady 0.25 cuts. But Bloomberg have a team of in-house economists, and those in-house economists believe that September should be a deeper cut, should be a 0.5% cut. And the 3 meetings after that should be 0.25% cut. And that would mean a 1% total reduction in Fed funds rate this year. Now let's look at the market expectation on the Fed funds rate path from the CME Fed Watch tool. That's derived from the Fed funds rate future. And right now the market is thinking that the probability of a 0.5% cut in September is 54.5%. And the probability of a 0.25% cut in September is 45.5%. So they're pretty even, but they're more leaning towards a 0.5% rate cut. And the meetings after that are all 25 basis point or 0.25% rate cuts. So right now the market expectation is matching what the Bloomberg in-house economists are thinking. Let's look at the recession probability. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon was interviewed on August 7th. He said the current probability of a soft landing for the economy is at 35 to 40%. So he's not super optimistic because soft landing means no recession. So the probability of not having a recession is less than 50% according to him. And luckily, the economist survey offered by Bloomberg also covers this topic. So 69% of the economists sees soft landing, and 10% of the economists, they see soft landing only if Fed moves swiftly and aggressively, so aggressive rate cuts. And only 22% economists are seeing a recession. So in general, the general consensus among economists are still very optimistic. So that's all I want to share with you today. The key takeaways of the videos are: number 1, the non-farm payroll data release on August 2nd sent a shockwave across the market and caused a lot of aggressive predictions. And right now, as the time goes by, those crazy predictions are getting cooled off. Okay, those 75 basis point cuts and intermediate emergency cut, those calls are being reverted back. Number two, the general consensus among economists for the probability of having a soft landing or having no recession is still very optimistic. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.